Today we have Shula Davis.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Right on. Now you're with the Farmers Insurance Agency. You've been on here before and you're a sponsor too. We like that.
I know. I love it. I love you guys. You
Well,
guys are amazing.
Wow. It's the first day I met you and I'm already feeling the love.
Well, yes.
All right.
That's
So
what I like.
what you got going on at Farmers right now?
So right now, people are starting to put their toys away and thinking that they don't need insurance on their boats and RVs and motorcycles, but they still do, even if it's stored.
Right.
If something were to happen, say a fire or something like that, not necessarily your home insurance is going to cover that. So that's why it's really important to have those toys covered even during the winter.
Exactly. I mean, during the wintertime, what do you find more claims during the summer, fall, winter, what?
It just kind of depends which product you're talking about.
Accidents happens all seasons long, right?
Yeah, accidents always happen. So, and that's why you need insurance.
Right on. So now where are you located at?
I'm located at Herndon and Willow. It's like right next to the neighborhood Walmart a little bit.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm kind of centrally located in between Fresno and Clovis. So
right.
it's kind of nice.
We had some of your friends on here before. Now,
Yeah.
who's all in the office with you?
There's like 7 other agents, and it's amazing because we all kind of work together and we're all trying to make sure that one another has enough support, or if we don't know something, there's 7 other of us that'll figure it out.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of nice to be in an office with that many people.
Because I know there's a lot of insurances out there to choose from, and of course I got that jingle popping in my head. Farmers Insurance, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Right? Am I right?
Yes.
So why exactly should people choose Farmers over everyone else?
Well, we're local agents. That's the difference. I would never say anything bad about any other insurance companies at all.
Okay.
It's bad business.
It is.
But that's what separates Farmers agents from, say, other companies, is because we're local. And like if you call my office, you're only going to talk to me, or you're going to talk to my assistant, Brittany.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice that you get to know actually who you are talking to, so you're not talking to 3 different people in one day that you have no idea who they are.
Okay, kind of a 2-part question here. I know there's like some single type of insurances people can get. And do you find people kind of just select one or the other, or they kind of bundle it all together, and what exactly do you offer?
So I always tell people to bundle because that's where you're going to save the most money. I do auto, home, renters. Renters is super huge right now, especially with all the fires that are happening in California. And everything else that's happening in the world, but life insurance is actually our most important product because, people insure their phones if they get damaged, but what happens if, being blunt, if you die, what is your family going to do?
Right.
So life insurance is so important, and that's the number one thing that I tell all my clients. Who do you have your life insurance through?
I know.
So.
Well, sure, that's the whole thing. You never know what's going to happen at any given time, so it's better to be prepared. And you're the kind of person that does that. I'm looking at like all the earthquakes going on, the hurricanes in the world. I don't know exactly, what kind of coverage that it has to offer here in the Central Valley, but
Flood insurance and earthquake insurance are different than your regular homeowner's policy, and a lot of people don't realize that. So your homeowner's doesn't automatically come with earthquake or flood insurance. You actually have to add that on, and sometimes mortgage companies will pay for it, but 9 times out of 10, the client has to pay for it.
But that's why you're there to coach them along and tell them exactly how to do that, huh?
Exactly. I have an earthquake policy, and I rent my townhouse.
Yeah.
But I have China, and if it breaks, I'll cry.
I know. Living here in the Central Valley, we think we're pretty safe, but you never know what's going to happen at any given time. I mean, especially now with the holidays coming up, you have some relatives coming over too.
Yeah.
And some family members might get into a little bit of trouble. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, as far as like a person goes, they can cause some damage in the house.
Well, yeah, not only that, but think about it. If you're having other people come over, they bring somebody that you don't know. And that's why it's really important to have that insurance in place, because of the liability.
Right. And sometimes I think to myself, if you got a gardener or even like a housekeeper or something, you got to make sure that's covered too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you should always check to see who's in your home doing any kind of services, and make sure that they have their own separate insurance.
Okay.
But you definitely want to make sure that you have enough liability in place on your homeowners to make sure that if something were to happen, that you are going to be covered.
So let's just say I'm the customer walking in talking to you saying, hey, I don't have any insurance right now. A basic single guy, okay, I'm 47 years old. I'm looking to be covered in the best ways possible. What would you say?
I would definitely say auto, whether you rent or you own, a renter, homeowners, and then absolutely life insurance. Because even though that you might be single, what is your family going to do if you pass along.
Well,
pass away.
and that's the easy thing to think, because being single as I am, it's like I think I don't have to pass anything along to anybody else, but eventually I will.
Yeah.
And I got to think of the ones that I truly love, and it's going to come into play eventually. So, and that's why I can tell you're a caring person. You'll sit down and be real with somebody about that sort of thing.
Well, I mean, you know, you do kind of have to be a little blunt about life insurance. So you got to put it in perspective. So say it's a husband and wife. You look at the wife, you know, and you look at the husband, and you ask the husband, okay, so what am I going to tell your wife if you pass away 15 minutes later when she walks into my office?
Right.
And you don't have life insurance in place.
That's a good point.
I mean, it is very blunt. I feel bad for doing it, but people need to understand the importance of it. And it's not, you know, as expensive as people think. You have to go through a health check, of course, but, you know, it's going to be based upon your health. But the younger that you are, the more, the cheaper it's going to be.
Yeah, even though there's more opportunity to probably get into some trouble too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not speaking from experience or anything like that. Besides that, I'm not exactly that young anymore. Okay, so how do people get a hold of you now?
So you can always give our office a call at 559-900-2744. You can definitely email me. It's sdavis5 at farmersagent.com. And you can also come visit our location at 6761 North Willow Avenue, number 103, Fresno, California 93710. And I'm pretty sure you can just Google me, Shula Davis, Farmers Insurance, and everything will pop up.
That sounds good. And thank you, Shula, for being a sponsor on My Conversation right here. And we'll have to coordinate next time and match our shirts again.
I know. This was amazing.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks.
And we'll be back with more of My Conversation. Just hang tight.
This episode of My Conversation is sponsored by Shula Davis Agency.